The fans have been waiting to see Benedict's love story for a long time, even before Bridgerton Season 3 premiered. Now it's about to happen, but not without some dramatic bits and twists, and we have it all laid out for you in this video. In the high society of Bridgerton, we've got to see and know that it's forbidden for a wealthy person to fall in love with a poor person, like in the case of Eloise and Theo Sharp. But in Season 4, Benedict's love story will challenge the norm as he goes for Sophie, a maid with the perfect twist many people wouldn't see coming. As already suspected and provided in the book, An Offer from a Gentleman, Benedict will meet Sophie at the masked ball his mother will be hosting. For a long time before the details regarding Season 4 were released, there were many speculations on who would portray Sophie. And in August 2024, we learned that Yaren Ha will be playing the love interest. These, with additional news and sneak peeks, have given us more insights into Season 4, which we will be exploring in the most fascinating way. The season will open up with Sophie and Benedict crossing paths at the masquerade ball she attended without being one of the invited guests. Sophie isn't like anybody we've met in the Ton before, as the character has a series of layered backstories and is a victim of many tragic events. She has been a maid serving the Ton's most stressful and toxic employer for most of her life. Despite her sad life, she finds ways to make things work and live for the moment, which is one of the attributes that led her to the masquerade ball, where she met Benedict. However, many details aren't going to be the same as the book, starting with Sophie's name, as it has been changed to include Yaren Ha's identity, who plays the role of Sophie, with the last name switching from Beckett to Beck. Yaren said, "To make Sophie's name fit someone who looks like me is empowering. It's a really nice way for me to feel like the role is fit for me rather than me having to fit a certain mold." With Bridgerton, the end of a season is always a predictable marriage between the lead characters, and while Season 4 isn't far from that, many unexpected twists will be creeping up on the fans. Luke Thompson, who plays Benedict, also mentioned how special the love story will be when he said, "The season will focus on the struggle between a proper old-school fairy tale, the romance of it, and the actual reality of the world." Bridgerton is super enjoyable, not just because of the love stories or steamy scenes, but also because of the gorgeous scenery, beautiful and elegant buildings, and pieces all over the show. One of the most magnificent buildings we can look forward to in Season 4 is My Cottage, owned by Benedict. The show has never really needed it until it's time to tell Benedict's story. Many beautiful moments and encounters will take place in this cottage, and it will be impossible not to gasp at its elegance. With Sophie in Season 4, fans will finally see more of the world and dynamics often less featured in Bridgerton, which is how the lower and upper class relates. There are usually fewer discussions and relationships between the high society of London and the maid, aside from a few exceptions where Varley shares a very close bond with the Featheringtons. But in Season 4, we will see more of the servants in the Ton, how they get through their house chores, and the gossip on what's happening with their employers in the Ton will all be the perfect scenes that will change everything. But most importantly, we will see the relationship between the upstairs and downstairs characters and the uniqueness of each interaction, especially now that a maid and a Bridgerton will be getting romantically involved. Colin and Penelope rocked everyone's hearts with their amazing chemistry, spicy carriage moments, and love story in Season 3. At the end of the season, we got to see them with their baby. In Season 4, they will officially present their child as Lord Featherington, whom Nicola, who portrays Penn, can't wait to do. She said, "In terms of me, I've got a ginger baby. She's a married woman, she's a writer, but it's delightful and gorgeous as always." The Queen has had many strong opinions on marriages in the Ton, with some not being her cup of tea. And class is something significant for her, which will make Season 4 trickier than expected, as it would take a great deal of twists to have the Queen support the marriage between Sophie and Benedict. But most importantly, we will see her explore her relationship with Lady Danbury more as they talk about the eligible matches of the year and the thriving relationships. However, there will be a significant shift in how the Queen will be more tolerant of people in the Ton in Season 4, as she becomes closer to Penelope and comes to appreciate her as Lady Whistledown. Many of the main characters will return in Season 4 except the Season 1 stars, Raja Jean Page and Phoebe Dynevor, who portrayed Simon and Daphne. Simone Ashley and Jonathan Bailey will also be reprising their roles, but this could be done with a reduced screen time due to how their stories ended in Season 3. Then, the fans will meet the Bridgerton heir for the first time this season. In general, there will be a lot of kids running around in the Ton in Season 4 as the previous couples continue to thrive in their marriages. Bridgerton might be a calm and organized show with amazing characters, but with some villains who spice up the drama, especially during the hunt for the ton's most eligible bachelor or lady. In Season 4, the villain will be Lady Araminta Gunn, played by Katie Leung, and her daughters, Rosamund and Posey, played respectively by Michelle Mao and Isabella Wei. Rosamund, described as beautiful, eager, and vain, will be determined to whisk Benedict away, which won't turn out well. Posey is much kinder than her sister, and their mother is under pressure to get any of her daughters married this season. Other new cast members portraying the servants, members of the Ton, will also be joining the show. We saw many things play out in Season 3, alongside Colin and Penn's relationship. Francesca got married and had a queer awakening when Michaela showed up, and all of these characters will be returning in Season 4 to keep things going from where they left off in Season 3. Their return will kickstart the setting up of future stories, as Seasons 5 and 6 have now been renewed, which means Eloise and Francesca's stories are coming up next in no particular order. For Francesca, her story will take shape in ways that are different from how it was in the book due to the change at the end of Season 3. Francesca was smitten by Michaela first. However, Season 4 won't instantly jump on that, as Francesca would still love and enjoy the interesting dynamic and relationship she shares with John Sterling. In Season 4, how Francesca relates to Michaela might not go unnoticed by John. Still, there will undoubtedly be a lot of crazy moments, including heartbreaking ones, that will set up Francesca for her season. Of all the Bridgertons, Eloise seems like the one who would challenge the status quo or even decide to be independent and unmarried, but that might no longer be the case for the character. Eloise has always had the freedom to do whatever she wants, and this is exactly how her character will transform and set her up for her season. At the end of Season 3, something shifted in Eloise after her fight with Cressida Cowper, seeing how Penelope found love and power to keep being herself as a woman. She's now a little more lonely and reflective than the Eloise we've known all along, and that led to her decision last season, where she chose to go off to Scotland with her sister and get to see the world and learn more from all the constant changes happening all around them. So, Eloise will be transformed in Season 4 and start seeing marriage more positively, which will help set her up for her romantic journey in Season 5. Francesca is already married and would take a few more seasons, 4 and 5, to prepare her heartbreaking story of finding love again. So a lot will be happening in Season 4, especially with Eloise and Francesca's stories coming up. People got uncomfortable with many side stories in Season 3, which took away from the main character's screen time, but there won't be much adjustment in Season 4 because the stories must continue. And that means we will see more of Lady Violet and her new romantic gardener, Lord Marcus, and a few of their spicy moments can also make it into the show. Also, the Mondricks will be appearing again, as they have officially joined London's high society. And the fact remains that the direction of their story is unknown, except that they will be important to the Bridgerton household in terms of friendship and relationship advice. Emma Naomi, who plays Alice, mentioned the unpredictability of their plot, saying, "We're not in the books, so we don't have any indication where our arc is going, so we will just have to roll with whatever happens. And that's exciting. We don't know what to expect." With all of these fantastic things happening in Season 4, what matters the most is a quicker release date, and it's closer now than ever. However, one of the reasons behind the extended release timeframe has to do with the filming schedule. It was reported that production for Season 4 started in May 2024, and filming officially began around September. Usually filming takes about 8 months, but Season 4 extends to 9 months. Filming will soon be wrapped, and the release date has been promised to come in mid-2026, with future seasons expected in 2028 and 2030.